43. 73, 75. 502, 511. 33, 43. 73,
Doctor, what do you currently can we begin? Participants, I request you to keep your audio muted. What do you currently, ma'am? Can we begin?
Sir, now can you hear? We shall begin, sir. But I think there is a little disturbance.
Yeah.
Kindly, sir.
I request everyone to, whoever is not talking, please mute your audio so that it will be easy for others to enter.
Sir, shall we wait for a few more minutes?
Yeah. I have no problem. I will wait.
Yes, sir. Just 34 has joined. Usually it
Okay.
would be around 100, so a few more minutes.
Okay. I will wait, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Sir, shall we begin?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, please.
Yes, sir. Good evening, one and all present here. We welcome you all to the fourth day faculty development program on language and literature in the digital age. We get nearer to the Lord through music than perhaps through any other thing except prayer. Let us begin the program with the prayer song.
Place today, Holy Spirit, come and have your way. Have your way as we lay aside our own desire. Sweep across our hearts with holy fire and have your way. This is your house and it's your home. We welcome you, Lord, we welcome you. This is your house and it's your home. We welcome you today. As we offer up our hearts and lives, let them be a living sacrifice. Have your way. Be glorified in everything we do. Yes, Lord. Be glorified in everything we say. And have your way. This is your house and it's your home. We welcome you, Lord, we welcome you. This is your house and it's your home. We welcome you today.
Ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to each and every one of you to our faculty development program. It's a pleasure to have such a distinguished gathering of educators and professionals who are committed to enhancing their teaching skills and contributing to the academic community. At this outset, let me welcome Professor T.S. Varadarajan. I also extend a warm welcome to the head in charge, Professor G. Preta, and a special welcome to all the participants over here. Let me now take a moment to introduce the resource person of the day, Professor Dr. T.S. Varadarajan. Dr. T.S. Varadarajan is working as Assistant Professor of English at Tyagaraja College, Madurai. He completed his PhD in the year 2016. His area of research is British literature. He has published a book on John Galsworthy's Forsyth Saga, a new historicist perspective. He has published 27 research papers and he has acted as a resource person for 51 academic programs. He, excuse me. He holds responsibilities like editor, reviewer in 10 reputed journals. It's our pleasure to have you here today, sir. Let me now hand over the session to Professor Dr. T. Vararajan. We encourage the participants to actively participate, share your experiences, and collaborate with the peers during the program, and also keep your mics in mute.
Thank you, Dr. Vadivakarasi. Thank you very much for your introduction. Before I request you to share the screen, I would like to ask whether I am audible or not first. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Respected members, the management of the college, respected principal, respected head of the department, learned members of staff, Department of English, learned audience who have gathered here for this FDP, and it is a kind of stopgap arrangement. Actually, Dr. Bonamadi was to be here in my place. She requested me to be here as she could not be part of this due to some health issues. So we are celebrating our cultural festival at our college, and I am yet to leave home. Once I reach home, means it will be late. Like, so I requested Dr. Vadivakarasi to have this session at 7 o'clock. I apologize for that because you have been waiting for the past 4 to 5 days. You want this FDP to be completed in style, but because of my being part of the cultural meet, I am ready only now at 7 o'clock, and I am still in my college. And thank you for the opportunity given. And when I spoke to Dr. Vadivakarasi, I was requesting her to actually have my topic as research methodology, and I just talk about that. And I could see the names here with doctorate also, so there are many qualified people here. Anyway, it is a kind of a sharing from one end to the other will give its own greatness. So we share whatever we know, and there is no hard and fast rule. So whatever we learn here, we discuss, should be carried forward in such a way. It will be helpful to the academia, whether it is your UG students or PG students or your PhD scholars, whoever she or he must be benefited through these kinds of programs. These kinds of FDPs are conducted regularly online and offline, only to sensitize the participants on the importance of how one can turn out to be a very good teacher, since the learning has been a kind of continuous process. And the title of my lecture is here, research methodology. Everybody knows it is a kind of method that we have to follow in order to do any work in a systematic way. And madam, now time is 7:15. How long can I extend this lecture? When should I stop? Tell me.
Sir, maybe till 8 or 8:05, 8:10
Okay.
is okay.
Come on.
I'm sorry, sir. Maybe till 8, 8:10 is fine, sir.
Okay, fine. So from now I take 45 minutes by way of sharing slides and explaining. After 8, if at all participants are not tired and vibrant, can always clarify any doubt based on what actually we will be discussing from now to 8 o'clock. Ma'am, can you share the screen, please,
Yes, sir.
from the title slide?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Had I been at home, I would have done myself.
Not an
So
issue,
I,
sir. Not an issue. I can do it. I believe it is visible.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Uh, this is how we have to begin our lecture, friends. So it is a kind of methodology in order to make our writing a systematic one. We have to follow certain procedures. Actually, a group of people, learned academicians in America, some 80, 90 years back, they actually sat together for a meeting wherein they wanted to actually ascertain a kind of code of conduct, model code of conduct for ascertaining the research process that should be done in a systematic way. So their sitting for more such meetings actually result in having a kind of idea that those who are doing a PhD in literature can follow what the Modern Language Association style sheet or a PMLA says like. And those who are doing research in ELT, English language teaching, can be undertaking a kind of style sheet or stick to a particular pattern like APA, American Psychological Association. And we do have something related to Chicago Manual of Style, and then a style that every academic journal has got its own role to play in ascertaining procedures and the guidelines. Ma'am, can you go to the first slide, please? Next one. Kindly move. Yeah, thank you. So, friends, before we begin research methodology, what are the avenues that we have? Like Tamil, English, we do research, history, economics, sociology, political science, law, philosophy. There are also other subjects. So we segregate in terms of what actually these subjects have to do with research. So we talk about its importance in terms of segregation. When it comes to humanities like history, economics, sociology, political science, Tamil and English, they come under the category called thing deals with social science research, humanities and the social science research. And every subject has got a unique method of understanding and putting things in perspective. Next, ma'am. Next, please. Yeah. So many of us do know this. There is no hard and fast rule when it comes to research. So it is something what we call creative. It has to be systematic, and we have to undertake a particular work in such a way. We should be able to add some perspectives to a particular thing that we learn. In that respect, we always say, why? Variety is the spice of life. It is a proverb. So we integrate this proverb with research, wherein we are able to understand something creative, and by way of doing something creative and systematic, we try to add a few things in terms of knowledge acquisition and how that acquisition helps others to imbibe the same thing. So this is how the term research is defined across the globe, across many countries. Next, ma'am. And from what to why, we always have a difference. When it comes to what, we always feel that there is a direct answer to our question. And when it comes to why, we always think in terms of application, because in OBE method, or what do you call this outcome based education, Bloom's taxonomy, everything, they want us to distinguish between lower order thinking skill to higher order thinking skill like K1, K2, K3, K4, and K5, K6. First three K1, K2, K3 meant for UG students, undergraduate students. K4, K5, and K6 meant for PG students. And there should be a progressive growth in terms of human understanding. All we talk. So now, when we come to talk about why is research, why why should we actually talk about, or why do we do research, then we have this answer. It is it is a tool for building knowledge and facilitating learning. So either you increase your knowledge or you have to facilitate a kind of learning. So in order to do that, we do research. And we have another aspect. It is a means to understand issues and increase public awareness. So not that you have to do English research and then confined to poetry, drama, novel, etc., presuming all the participants are from English department. And there are other people who have excelled in their field. And any practical problem like being faced by a doctor, a medical, or an engineer, and they see things quite effectively by way of solving a problem like electrical problem, or any construction issues, or anything that requires immediate action where human beings tend to use so normally that research is something what we call quite great science engineering based research. And there what happens, whenever there is a statement of problem, there is a possibility of giving solution. Thereby research becomes imperative in their field. And then the next one is about if you are a if you are an entrepreneur, you will be able to devise a particular plan. Thereby you can make a mark through your business by making money, by using innovation, etc. That is also a kind of research that every businessman is likely to work on or take up that assignment. And then there is a possibility of disproving lies and then supporting truth. Setting benchmark becomes one of the important aspects of any research. So either it can be proving someone wrong or supporting a particular cause, thereby maintaining a kind of a status quo that will help the society in many ways. Like that, one can find research as something that is related to disproving lies and perpetuating what you call honesty, integrity, etc. And then we go for finding, measuring, that is gauging, finding, and then seizing opportunity. There is a possibility of uh, doing that through research. One is to identify, and then to measure, and then to capture the opportunity in whatever be the context where there is a knowledge sharing that becomes imperative, friends. And then when we go to the next aspect of why research, then it actually promotes a kind of love wherein confidence is developed through your reading, through your writing, analyzing, and then sharing valuable information. So uh, you can, to an extent you can say, it is also meant for aesthetic sense, deriving a kind of aesthetic pleasure that one could look for, like. And then finally what happens in terms of why research, it actually gives you, provides the nourishment, a kind of vegetation, and it helps you to develop your mental faculty as well as physical strength. So it acts both it helps you like yoga. When you perform yoga on a daily basis, my dear friends, you are internalize, you are internally activate your organs inside your body, internal organs we call it, yoga. When it comes to walking, going to gym, do some physical exercise, what you do, you are giving importance to the outward structure, your hands, eyes, etc. In the same way, Research gives you both mental and physical stability and happiness. Ma'am, can you go to the next one, please? Yeah. Now we move slowly from a general term to particular, and what do you consider, ma'am? Are all the participants English teachers here?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, fine, fine. One child is crying. Come on, give her some biscuits, please, and then make her comfort. Only then you can listen to. Thank you. So now we come to academic research, wherein the same thing, the definition goes in the same way, but the place differs. Academic, academia. So it does take place in a university, in a college, in a research laboratory, in a research center. Say, for example, Oxford University, Cambridge University, New Mexico University, Madras University, where your college is attached to, Tiruvallur University, Serkadu, Vellore, and Madurai Kamarajar University, where I belong to, Tirunelveli, Manonmaniyam Sundarnar University. Like that, when you go to North India, Delhi University, Aligarh Muslim University, IITs, IIMs, NITs, Government Arts and Science Colleges, SF colleges. So these are all what we call where academics is exercised. So academic research takes place only where academic institutions are established. So we call it academic research. We never do it in a medical lab, or we never do it in an engineering manufacturing industry. We do it in the college and university. That's why we call it academic research. So again, what happens here? Academic research refers to a detailed study of a particular subject, say physics or chemistry or mathematics. And especially we go for a detailed study in order to discover something new, and at the same time our understanding should also be new. So academic research is actually a kind of notion where we are able to do something by way of enhancement, and then while enhancing, that should also help the society in many ways. A doctor directly helps the society by treating patients, and he is helped by pharmaceutical industry, clinical industry. He recommends a blood test, he recommends tablets. So a group of people is always working to facilitate his profession. So that is a direct outcome of research. Through research, why you are given a tablet like chlorocept or metacin or any tablet during corona time. We take plenty of tablets related to antibiotics and plenty of things. So doctors directly involve in research, and we human beings become the testing items for them. That is why it is given top priority. On the other hand, engineering is also given on par with medical industry, where construction of building, the way you and I are connected, 10 to 12 hours of journey from Madurai to Chennai, and you join from different parts of India or Chennai. So all these things are possible because of technological advancement. That is why, again, engineering rules the world. As far as we literature students and teachers are concerned, my dear friends, I reiterate, I emphasize, I challenge you, our doing research based on a novel, drama, poetry, autobiography, biography, or any non-literary text, or you can take any Nobel Prize winning books. Our duty is to only interpret. By way of interpreting, we are able to give new information that will be used by others in order to uh, perpetuate a kind of what do you call status, or steadiness, or a kind of leading from the front kind of a thing using these things. So friends, what I would like to add from this particular slide, it is a kind of new learning, discovering meant for betterment and enhancement. Yes, ma'am. Can you go to the next one, please? You kindly try to reduce the size of the slide, ma'am, so that I could read and yeah, thank you. This will do. Thank you very much. You can maintain the same size throughout your my lecture, so that I will not have any problem in. Actually, I make use of these slides only for my reference, so there will be some confidence when you see those things. So another layer of understanding with regard to academic research, friends, is this: you go for facts and opinions. So there is, you have an intention of checking whether it is right or not. For that also, we go for academic research, and then that is followed by a kind of assistance that is given, and either to solve a problem or to deal with a particular situation. We actually tend to have some notions related to research, and you can always have a kind of cynical attitude. By way of finding fault with something only, we are able to arrive at a particular conclusion. So in that respect, we are endowed with the quality of doing some research by putting our heart and soul. And the next aspect, as I told you earlier, my dear friends, so medicine, engineering, arts, science, law, commerce, sociology, economics, history, management, and other subjects. These are all some of the important domains where research becomes inevitable part of life. So to be precise now, research is nothing but adding a particular flavor to something. Supposing you are wanting to order an onion dosa. So first they go for this flour, then they add onion, then they add something like green leaves, and then they go for either putting ghee or uh, oil, and then they wait till it turns out to be something crispy, then it is given to you. So research is also the same thing. Raw material is the flour, that white flour, and your ingredients actually make your taste of your dosa quite well. In the same way, by way of talking about dealing with research or a textbook, you will be able to come with more ideas. That is the intention of carrying out research in academia. When I say academia, institutions. And then, ma'am, may I request you to go to the next one, ma'am? Yeah. Just go slowly, no problem. Right. Go back, please. Yeah, this is. Actually, you missed the title, ma'am. Title of again, reduce the size so that reduce the size of it. Because audience should be knowing what with which title it should be dealt with. So academic writing, major types. So friends, when I say or when we talk about writing, academic writing involves whatever writing that we talk about that it takes place in a college by a undergraduate student, by a PG student, by a research scholar. But they have different purpose of writing. So with respect to their purpose, we just divide according to their requirement. So we say writing paragraphs, essays, and then writing sims. If you are a B.Ed student or B.Ed graduate, then you know the importance of self-instructional material. And then you go for anything related to book writing, novel writing, short story writing kind of a thing, followed by, if you are a UG student or if you deal with the UG students, then you have a group project. And then when it comes to postgraduate, you have just a project that runs about 30 to 40 pages on a chosen author or chosen book. And then dissertation, that is related to 75 to 80 pages of a particular work. Again, we call it MPhil Master of Philosophy, that is dispensed with by UGC. In my opinion, it should have been continuing, so that MPhil would act as a bridge between UG, PG, and PhD. And then towards the end, thesis, we call it 150 to 200 pages where you make a writing and then submit. So these are all what we call academic writing. Its major type. Next, ma'am, please. Yeah. Now, friends, we come to the title of the lecture: research methodology. How what we have seen earlier is going to be applied here, and what is the relevance? What will happen when there is no methodology? What is the advantage when we have a methodology? All these things we are going to discuss. I'm conscious of time. Now 7:35. I will finish exactly at 8 o'clock. Don't worry, another 25 minutes. After that, if you have any doubt, you can always clarify. So, friends, now a methodology, the way in which you do something. In ELT, you study methods and approaches. Approaches is a macro term. A method is a micro term. So microcosm, macrocosm, like we talk about in science. So we deal with only something what we call macro structure approaches. Methodologies minor, that is microstructure. Here what we do, how a particular thing is done. Supposing you are dancing, you are a Bharatanatyam dancer, or you are a folk dancer, or you are a Western dancer. And Western dance, the moment you go and start dancing on the stage, if somebody tells you that it is Western dance, then there is a method to dance. Your costume, your bodily movement, everything matters only to tell you or tell the audience about you are choosing Western music or Western dance. And you employ a method to make it happen. In the same way, when you write a UG project or PG project or MPhil PhD, you employ a method, you introduce a pattern, you just fall back on that pattern in order to make your study a systematic one and at the same time understandable, authentic, and again you make it quite justifiable of your claim. So, friends, identifying, selecting, processing, analyzing information. So you have some information, what do? You identify. That is followed by selection. That is followed by processing. And finally, you analyze. Then there is a result. I draw a comparison, friends, now. Assume you are a chemistry student doing some lab activities in your college. That a 3 hour lab experiment session starts with getting instruction, everything. And when you finish your work, there should be a kind of result that you should be able to show. So in between what you do, you are asked to take a pipette, the process writing that you talk about, all the information related to that experiment will be informed well in advance. It is your duty to follow and scrupulously make it so that a result is being brought. In the same way, when you follow research methodology, your study will turn out to be something what we call verifiable, reliable, viable, like that you can say. You can say that's why we go for this methodology. Next slide, ma'am, please. Friends, this you must be familiar with these things. Look at the words in bold font. You have research, you have methodology, you have study. When you just take this particular thing in a research paper, in a research article, a research article is a microstructure. A PhD thesis is a macro structure again. I wanted to reiterate this. So with regard to methodology, my dear friends, you have a research paper where you talk about methodology. It is nothing but your ability to read something in a critical way. Thereby, you try to come with a particular idea so that there is adequate scholarship being supplied. And when you go to two major important segments of research, qualitative and quantitative, you always say qualitative research refers to reading and interpretation. You can call it empirical study also. On the other hand, or on the contrary, quantitative research deals with anything measurable, starting from taking a survey, or for that matter, periodical checkup, periodical. Am I audible, friends?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Because I received a call, I cut it. That's why sometimes through Google Meet, when a call is received, the connection gets lost. That's why. Sorry for the inconvenience. So, friends, what you do, quantitative refers to anything measurable, like statistical tools being used to find out mean, mode, medium, or statistical tools being applied to a particular entity, like checking a group of students with regard to their ability to communicate in English in different time period. Say, for example, now March. Today you train 50 students for 1 week on a given chapter or grammatical item, say tenses. Then you come after 3 months, April, May, June. You check or test their ability to use tenses in a judicious way. And then what you do, you compare your first visit to the current visit, and then you are able to establish, because of your technique there is a considerable change in their approach. If you are able to do that with a statistical tool, then it becomes a quantitative research. You can call it sampling, survey, data analytics, data analysis, hypothesis, whether it is null hypothesis or what do you call hypothesis, realized thesis statement. Then there is a unity between title of the thesis followed by thesis statement followed by core chapters of the thesis followed by conclusion and the introduction conclusion kind of a thing. So when you do this, it is what we call ELT research. We call it a quantitative. Ma'am, may I request you to go next slide, please? And then, friends, quite simple and quite easy to tell you why methodology. Then these four words will help you in order to make your claim authentic, in order to maintain a kind of uniformity, in order to remain consistent of what you do. When I say consistency, friends, I can give you an example. You are getting up from the bed daily in the morning at 6 o'clock, or your tendency to walk, or your habit of reading newspaper, or your walking, or you are spending time with your children, quality time, or going to temple, or doing some prayers, everything can be done very effectively, my dear friends, only when you are consistent. Kindly pass it on this word to your students in colleges. When you go to college tomorrow or Monday, ask them to remain consistent of whatever they do. Even if they don't study properly, ask them to remain consistent, so that we are able to make them a kind of training, so that their good habits can be nurtured and they become consistent in their work. So to be precise, consistency is nothing but regularity. So doing a particular thing in a regular manner will give them a kind of a pakka methodology. And then systematic approach. We are tired of listening to this word on the screen whenever we talk about research. Systematic approach, a steady approach, a perfect approach kind of a thing. And then, my dear friends, in order to make these things happen of what we have seen earlier, the second segment of this slide will give you an idea about how to realize, how to ascertain, how to make things clearer. So, So, as I told you earlier, in America, what happened? Some 70 years back, 80 years back, a group of scholars sat together on a mission of giving a common code of conduct for people who are doing research in terms of different subjects. In order to have clarity, uniformity, segregation properly, they come with an idea called Modern Language Association, PMLA, style sheet meant for arts like Tamil, English, etc. And then in English literature, you have ELT or commerce, economics, MBA, BBA, or commonly known as business administration. They actually fall under the category of APA, American Psychological Association. And the Chicago Manual of Style Friends is another entity wherein we are able to understand yet another method of documenting. So all these things are meant for either documentation or while documenting make it quite relevant or giving a kind of a clarity on where you take a source, whether you are able to acknowledge the source properly or not, friends. So we call it a style sheet. So these three are quite common throughout the world, whether it is Australia or Africa. The last one, friends, since all the universities set a benchmark by way of asking the research scholars to publish research articles periodically, and even for teachers to apply for gateship, they ask UGC, CARE publication, Scopus, etc. So there is a mad rush among the scholars of different subjects to go to academic journals and to get their articles published. Thereby, they set a kind of trend that their research is accepted like. So this mad rush is not good for any steady growth, but university makes these things possible and makes these things mandatory in order to maintain a kind of a standard. Sometimes, like a man proposes and God disposes, their their being objective is always questioned. It all happens anyway. We have to accept the one the academic bodies want us to do. Next, ma'am, please. This is another important thing, my dear friends. Many of you know those who have done research, those who are doing, those who likely to do. This plagiarism is something what you call in Tamil. If you know Tamil, I just use two words: ilakkiya thiruttu. I repeat, ilakkiya thiruttu. So what do you do? I quote one Tirukural, one of you respond, who is the author? Since I said Tirukural, you should not say Thiruvalluvar. I just say, Adakkam amararul uikum, adangamai ஆறிருள் உய்த்துவிடும். It is a couplet from Tirukural. So if you control yourself, then you will be among the gods. If you don't control yourself and losing temper, then you will go to hell. That is the idea. Now, my dear friends, can I say it is written by Varadarajan or it is written by Vadivukarasi? Or if I have to take some names here, just give me 1 or 2 minutes. Yeah, Nitya. Is it done by Miss Nitya or Miss Hema or Miss Satya, who responded to my question of being audible, or Elise or Jodi Reddy, who has just left? I cannot afford to, my dear friends, claim that it is written by these people. So, plagiarism is nothing but you take someone's idea and you never acknowledge, I have taken from this. Hence, it is my duty to acknowledge. Then there is no problem. You are allowed to take anybody's opinion, anybody's idea. But proper acknowledgement must be there. That's the idea. So, in that respect, what happens? 1 minute. Yeah. Have you, ma'am, have you stopped sharing or are you just? Okay, Jyoti, ma'am, thank you. Just I saw you are going and coming. No, I'm not very keen on it. Doesn't matter. This is sometime you have to cook. There are many works at home. So plagiarism is what you call a kind of stealing. It is punishable under IPR, that is intellectual property right. And for doing research, every university has to come to terms with a particular agenda that your thesis must be read by a software like Turnitin or Urkun or any standard software for that matter, where how much you have borrowed, out of how much you have borrowed, whether how much you have acknowledged, how much you have not acknowledged, all these things are visible the moment you run the software using your Word document of your thesis. So, what I would like to now tell you, friends, you have to be very wary and cautious of it. And then, ethically, it is wrong. There cannot be any academic integrity, and you will be interfering with someone's knowledge, and then violation of IPR. And IPR, patent writing, etc. You talk about science has more information related to patenting, and we deal with IPR in terms of copyright. When you write a book, you always go for copywriting. I have another 7 minutes, friends. Let me go to next slide, please. So, what are the things that can be quoted? How to quote? What are the avenues we have? So, you can start with the book, journal, magazine, newspaper, unpublished sources, independent publications, internet sources. All these things we do only for one particular purpose, that is authenticity. And authenticity is there, so also a record besides acknowledgement. You are able to show someone what you have done. You can keep it as a record. You can remain thankful to somebody. Only for this purpose, you quote or you refer to. Next, ma'am. Yeah. So, friends, you all know the difference between work consulted and cited. Cited means you have to quote. While quoting, you have to bring those passages, and then you have to say who has given you that passage. Work consulted, my dear friends, on the other hand, is you were referring to various books, but you never use them in your thesis or project. That is consulting. You consult, you never cite. And then when you go to the next one, in text citation, whatever you cite, you have to cite at the end of the thesis in the form of work cited. And then correspondingly, there should be an indication of your quoting through in-text citation. I show you some examples so that you will be able to see quite convincingly. And I request Dr. Vadivukarasi also to share this entire document to your chat box or email or WhatsApp group, so that whenever you have time, you can just make use of it. I will make use of some of these slides in my next lecture, or whenever anything comes. That doesn't matter. There, I can make some changes and use it. But you must know why you listen to this for the past 30 to 40 minutes. Ma'am, next one, please. Yeah, look at. Just friends, I request you to look at only the arrow marks, not anything inside. Look at, you have author, you have publication year, you have title, you have city, and you have publisher. So normally, a works cited entry has these features. Ma'am, I request you to go to the next one, which is something practical. Ma'am, actually, the one that is missing top of the slide, MLA 8th or MLA 9th. Look at, MLA means Modern Language Association. The first figure is features. Next one is example. Look at Langston Hughes, American poet, you know. So Hughes Langston, and then and Seuss the stories. That is the title of the book, and then it is from the collected poems that she has, and then it was again edited by Langston Hughes. The collected poems of Langston Hughes is the title of the collection that was edited by one gentleman called Arnold Ramprasad. Rampersad. Arnold Rampersad. And then it was published by a publisher called Knopf. It was a year 2004 and page number 23. So, what does it mean? A researcher has spotted the 23rd page of the book written by Langston Hughes, edited by Arnold, and that statement is useful to the researcher. So, he or she makes use of that particular entry. When they make use of the entry, they have the obligation to cite where they have taken. That is what I have explained. Ma'am, can you go to the next one? Another example. Sample 2. Look at MLA 8th edition. So there are many editions, the 5, 6, like our mobile application being updated. When you don't update it, the company has to approve you based on the device you have. You need not update, but the company gives you. At one point of time, what will happen? Your phone does not work very fast. Hanging cannot be ruled out. It is because you have not upgraded or updated your mobile application with respect to bank or Google Chrome or WhatsApp or any mobile banking applications, etc. So, in the same way, what happens? You have Modern Language Association, edition 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The most recent one, friends, is ninth one. And they have reduced a few features of. They, am I audible, friends?
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you. Again, another call disturbance. That's why. So, friends, in the same way, mobile application being upgraded or updated, you have a recent edition of MLA edition ninth, which is something what we call quite simple. But many of us are not ready to use it as there are a few practical difficulties. And again, when you just open it, this slide, you can see the top part is the feature, bottom example. With regard to what do you call? You have a man called Greta, Ends Auditor, The Art of Housekeeping, Iceland Review Publishing. You have a URL, HTTPS kind of a thing. Ma'am, can you go to the next one? Yeah, look at this is one of the examples of in-text citation. Here you have to see only something that is given in brackets. Look at. Let me read for your clarity. You have Hennessy 127 within brackets. After bracket, full stop. Again, when you go to the next paragraph of the same page, you find a lack of and Johnson 57. So, friends, what does it mean? So, from the page number 57, authored by Lectoff and Johnson, two-author book, an idea of this kind. What is the idea here? Let me read. In metaphors we live by, the author suggests that metaphors actually structure our perceptions and understanding. So this idea is taken from X through the book. This is what we call in-text citation. In-text citation is nothing but it is also called a parenthetical documentation. It has got only the author's name, one of the names, maybe surname, etc., followed by the page number of the book where the idea is taken. And then it should be reflected at the end of the thesis by way of works cited. Ma'am, can you go to next slide, please? Again, look at. For your clarity, let me read from this. Look at Dongu, DONG, GU Dongu 09. So this idea is taken from the page number 9 of Dongu, one of the authors. And what is borrowed? The whatever you have before the brackets, those lines 3 or 4, starting from the late modern literature to what do you call root seeking literature. Ma'am, can you go to the next one, please? Look at friends, this is MLA 9, the most recent edition published by MLA. MLA itself is an organization, Modern Language Association. Joseph Gibaldi. When I did my PhD in 2015, 14, 15, I made use of 7th edition of Joseph Gibaldi's MLA. Now you know you have plenty of what do you call changes here and there. And look at, there are only 4 features you have. There are only 4 features you have. One is related to, just 1 minute. Sir, ஒரு 5 நிமிஷம் லெக்சரில் இங்கே தான் இருக்கேன், பூட்டிடாதீங்க. Okay. So there are 4 features, my dear friends. One is like author, the very first one, followed by title of the book, and then the third one is name of the publisher, and then you have year of publication. Like that it goes. So if you are doing research now, then you have to fall back on only these 4 features, which I call it a kind of a simplification. Ma'am, can you go to the next one, please? Yeah, this is another example based on no, kindly go to yeah, thank you. So MLA 9th edition sample referencing, same thing. Look at all the colored depiction after you are taking dinner, and when you have time, you just have a look at it. All I have taken only from download. It is not magic, internet downloading only. You can simply fix what is the name of the author, how should we write name of the author, kind of a thing. Ma'am, please, next. Yeah, look at all the arrows and the blue font. Every blue writing tells you something about indicating. Again, you can have a look at very leisurely, so that you understand its significance in a leisurely way, not by force, any kind of force now. Say, for example, title centered mechanics, title container, and then authors. If you have more than one author, year 2015, page number 6 to 18, all I refer to. This is an example of how to identify different features of a works cited entry. Next, ma'am. Just 2 minutes, I will be winding up. Yeah, this is one of the most important slides, my dear friends, because I integrate both in-text citation and works cited. Just to have a look at leisurely and then try to understand how they are related to each other. Next. This is the structure of a MPhil thesis or a PhD thesis or research article or project. Title, abstract, introduction, body, conclusion, references, appendix. Go to next one. I explained a bit. Next one. Look at title should be reflecting the overall structure of a project. Abstract, the essential information in a nutshell. Introduction, overall plan. And body, what is your contribution, significant contribution. And then conclusion, you have to go for a recap, like a newspaper news reading recap, and then reference that we have been talking about, works cited and for authenticity. And appendix, anything like you interview with the living author for your research, then those things can be attached at the end of your thesis. And then next one, the most awaited one. No, you are right. Clarification page. Yeah. Time for interaction, clarification. Go to the next page, next slide, ma'am. Yeah, let them make a note of it. Kindly make a note of my email address. If you have any doubt, you can clarify. You can ask. Now, ma'am, you can stop sharing the screen. Once they have any doubt, they can ask, so that we can leave at the earliest. Yes. At last, all your cooperation, it is done in style. Yeah. I'm afraid of my security locking the door. That's why I went and asked him, come on, wait, I'll be coming like. Yeah, if you have any doubts, by way of clarification, by way of feedback, anything, you are encouraged to ask. And if you have no question, we can make a move very happily, like anybody who is happy to leave a particular work.
Sir, thank you so much, sir. I would like to express my sincere gratitude because the session was so insightful on research methodology, and of course, we were able to understand your expertise and the dedication. And in a way, we are little guilty for making you staying back in college at this time of the hour. Thank you so much for all the efforts that you have took for us, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. And by way of responding to your message, for me it was a hectic session. Just because I was reluctant to actually address you people because I was tired. But Madam Bonumadi, your teacher, wanted me to do this in the afternoon only. So after that, you contacted, and incidentally, I was giving a lecture on the same topic with the different views in the morning at 11 o'clock to one Sadakatullah Appa College, Tirunelveli. So I find it very easy because whenever you repeat anything, it is always easier. And I add one or two things here and there. And I do thank all the authorities of your college, your principal, your HOD, your colleagues, and especially the participants who are here for the past 5 days and attending a webinar, getting certificate. These days, these things become very normal and hectic also. And women teachers, especially, this is the ideal time for cooking and taking care of children. And I have stood between you and your routine work. I apologize for that because I had no option. Whenever you organize any program, feel free to contact me. It is like knowledge is to be shared. What is that? Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Indeed, it was a timely help that you did for us. And we are always indebted to you for that. Thank you so much, sir. And to
Thank you. Thank you.
officially,
Thank you.
and the forum is open for questions now. Participants, if you have any questions, you can raise your hand or else you can unmute yourself. Participants,
Good
if you
evening,
have
sir. This is Subhashni from Margarigoris College of Arts and Science. I belong to English department.
Yes, good
Thank you
evening.
for sharing your expertise, sir. Indeed, it was very insightful session, as Dr. Navalkasi said. I just have one doubt, sir. Can we take comparative literature as a research topic?
Yeah, you are allowed to take, ma'am. Actually, if I have to honestly answer, then I have to talk about many things, but we are running short of time. Comparative literature, thematic study, experimental research, all these things are not what do you call in the vogue now, fashion, VOGUE, because they are all exhausted, and comparative literature is a viable one, but the text that you choose should be very careful. Viability must be checked before you proceed further, ma'am. Unlike you apply a theory, and again, my humble suggestion is theory is not something sacrosanct, but there is a variety being achieved because of your applying theory. So you take a text. At the end of the day, your text is being studied by you in order to give a different picture of what it is all about, ma'am. That's all. Are you convinced?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Feel free to contact for any clarification, ma'am. No problem.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody?
thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to come up with questions, queries? Okay. In that case, let me now hand over the session to Professor Shubha of the Department of English to propose the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, sir. It is a great honor and privilege to present a vote of thanks. I, on behalf of the entire fraternity of Mar Gregorius College of Arts and Science, I extend sincere thanks. I express my heartfelt gratitude to our guest speaker, Professor Dr. T.S. Varadarajan. Sir, your exceptional presentation and the purpose of conducting the research is well explained, and it was a valuable contribution that you have done to us. Thank you again for sharing your knowledge and making our event a success. I mention my deep sense of gratitude to Professor G. Prada, in charge, Department of English, and my department faculties for their hard work, dedication, and support for conducting this event in a successful way. Thank you, sir. Thank you, participants,
Yeah,
for
ma'am,
your patience.
Vadivkarasi, ma'am, kindly share those slides in the WhatsApp group of your participants. One of them is asking now.
Sure,
Kindly
sir.
share, please.
Sure, sir. I shall.
Before you destroy the group, kindly send them so that they can have an idea. That's all, right?
Definitely, sir. I'll make sure that I share it immediately.
Happy to meet Subbalashmi after a long time. Saw you with Dr. Krishnamurthy sir when you visited last month. I saw the photo. Madam Kopirandiri was sending it.
Hello,
Thank you,
hello, sir.
Subbalashmi, for your
Varadarajan, sir. Good
presence.
evening.
Yeah. Good evening. Good evening.
Very, very nice to hear your session, sir.
Thank you. You know very well. All these things are being repeated elsewhere. Here, you are a new audience. The same thing, not something very huge, right?
Yes, of course, I could hear you after a long time.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Okay. What do you
Thank you
say,
so
ma'am? Can I make a move? Can I quit?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Indeed, I have no
Yeah. Thank you,
words to
thank you,
express my gratitude. Thank you so
thank
much.
you, thank you,
Thank you, sir.
thank you. Bye.
So, participants, the feedback link is posted and it shall be active for the next 15 minutes. Those who have filled the feedback form can leave the forum. Participants, the feedback link is posted in the chat box as well as in the YouTube. So, the link will be active for the next 15 minutes. Tomorrow will be the last day of the FTP, and we will be meeting you tomorrow at 6 p.m. at the regular scheduled time. Sorry for the inconvenience caused today. Thank you.